Welcome back to the Patreon board. We're going to start with Steve Kidd's request. It's something I normally wouldn't do, but since this is going to be the last year for Patreon requests, screw it. Let's get down to it with Totally Spies, the movie. Anyone remember Magoozy from Cartoon Network? It was like a lighter version of Toonami, which aired various cartoons and anime. There were some shows I liked, but the block just didn't have the charm or cool factor like Toonami did. But one notable part of Magoozy was Totally Spies, a cartoon that feels like the James Bond series merged with Charlie's Angels and Clueless. It was created by French producer Vincent Chavon Demerset and David Mitchell from Marathon Media, now called Banijay Kids and Family. And it's pretty clear that there's an anime influence from just looking at the design. And this sort of look would also find itself in other shows like Martin Mystery and Team Galaxy. I remember liking the show when it first aired, but looking back, I can't say it was all that great. There's some questionable stuff regarding how characters are portrayed, plenty of dated humor, and contrived plots. But it did last for 6 seasons, and a new one is in the works for 2024. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because we're looking at the Totally Spies movie that came out in 2009. It was released theatrically in France, but only in a direct-to-TV format elsewhere. It's a prequel that explains how our main heroines came to work for a secret government agency despite starting out as pretty ordinary high schoolers. So let's break out the makeup and clothes, because this is Totally Spies, the movie. We open in
California,
where a rock concert is being held by superstar Rob Heartthrob. Based on this, I'm expecting a turnabout big top with this guy, but instead he's hypnotized into abandoning his show. Oh, the people are going to be so mad.
Fabulous.
So none of those guys saw him walk outside or notice him being abducted by aliens? With that, we shift over to Beverly Hills, where we are introduced to the 3 main characters of the Totally Spies series. The orange-haired girl is Samantha Simpson, voiced by Claire Guillot in the French version, and Jennifer Hale in English. The blonde girl is Clover Ewing, voiced by Philly Keita in the French version, and Andrea Baker in English. And the bob cut girl is Alexandra Cassoy, voiced by Celine Maj in the French version, and Katie Griffin in English. They all just moved in, and I guess the French producers thought that Beverly Hills is super high-tech and glitzy.
Cutting-edge training regimen. Submersive hydrocycling. Zero graph powerlifting.
It's funny because Hollywood? We do get a sense of who these girls are, especially if you didn't watch the cartoon series. Alex is quirky and naive, Sam is the nerdy type, and Clover is a total valley girl, with a little hint of Serena or Usagi sprinkled in.
That is like so rude and so chic. I just love Beverly Hills.
While this is all happening, we keep cutting to a view from space where some satellite is watching them. And as the girls converge onto a sushi restaurant, this happens.
Oops, sorry. Oh no, my bags!
If I didn't know any better, I'd say this was some kind of test. Shenanigans ensue as they get stuck on top of the sushi and must divert it away from innocent bystanders. Sam comes up with a plan and gets Clover and Alex to help her. And once they succeed, they hit it off and become besties. But then they are interrupted by their rival of the series.
hello! I am not getting any younger, losers!
Ugh, Mandy. She is a total, utter snob of the highest degree, because look at how she manipulates these boys. And look at her personal parking spot. Even her friends suggest that she's up to no good. and she's already planning to do something to Sam only a few seconds after seeing her. Speaking of Sam, when she's called to the principal's office, she finds that Clover and Alex are there too. What a coincidence.
This school does not look favorably upon grade grubbers.
Huh? But
And just because you're new here does not mean you'll get any special treatment. I'll be watching you.
What, is everyone here this uptight? Oh hey, this image reminds me of Sheezel from Tales of Eternia. Anyway, Mandy shows just how much of a wench she is by playing nice to the girls before showing them an odd setting on their chai machine.
Welcome to Bev High, losers!
Do it, Act 3.
Okay, master. Let's kill the whole beach.
Well, it's at least another bonding experience for the three girls, especially once Clover offers to give them new clothes. But after they change, we get the first of a common trend in the series, getting sucked into things out of nowhere.
okay, nobody panic.
And now they're in the Velvet Room, except that the only thing not blue is the couch.
Whatever the vibe is, it's definitely spooky. Wait a sec. I bet we're on some reality TV prank show. This is LA after all. I am so not camera ready.
You really are the Usagi of this show. The two men we saw earlier are watching them, and only one of them has confidence in their potential. The three girls discover some spy gadgets and...
Rough around the edges. More like jagged. Nothing a little training won't fix.
I think you're gonna need a lot more than that. This is when the two men introduce themselves. The older gentleman is Gerald Jerry Lewis, who's voiced by Jean-Claude Donda in the French version, and initially by Jess Harnell in English, only for the latter to be replaced by Adrian Truss once Season 3 began. Either way, he's the Charlie of this series for obvious reasons. Alongside Jerry is another agent, Tad.
And totally cute ones at that.
Wacky anime motions, am I right? Anyway, they're part of WHOOP, the World Organization of Human Protection. The girls don't seem to buy into this and are just upset over being brought here. We even learned that WHOOP was monitoring them for years, with Sam showing signs of being a brainiac, Alex having athletic talents, and Clover, stealing her mother's magazine without being noticed.
You monitor us? Hello, creepy much? Okay, that's it. I'm calling the cops.
A suitable reaction, if I do say so. Of course, the agents give them a special wallet phone in case they change their mind. And the existence of WHOOP must be kept a secret, or else.
You'll have us eliminated?
Of course not. We stopped doing that in the 90s. We'll have you one-way teleported to Siberia.
Haha, Russian joke. Well, this is an American agency, I suppose. After school, we see Mandy and her friends go to the mall. They see a video advertisement of a gadget that would make anyone more... fabulous?
The perfectly arched right eyebrow, custom engineered to a sumptuous 47.2-degree angle. The dual action dimples with optional cleft chin.
Oh, so it's a machine version of Cinderella from JoJo Part 4. Ha, that's twice I referenced Part 4. I'm so funny.
Out of my way! I demand to be fabulous right this instant!
Okay, that was funny. But uh-oh, looks like this is all a trap. Back with Sam, she has some freaky nightmare of Jerry insisting that she becomes a spy.
Spies! 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 Spies!
Oh, but it gets worse. WHOOP then proceeds to torture the girls in various ways. They infect Sam's computer with a virus, Alex gets relocated to a desert, and Clover is thrown to jail after her credit cards were mysteriously maxed out. They decide to contact Jerry about this, and he denies everything. Then he twists their words into making it like they will take up spy training.
Trust me, you won't regret your decision.
Decision? What decision?
Are we the baddies?
Like, that's messed up. A government agency decides to mess with a few teenagers to force them into something that they don't want to be a part of. At least with something like Sailor Moon, Usagi eventually took up her hero role because the bad guys were targeting her and the friends she made. This would have been more understandable if the bad guys were behind these recent mishaps. That being said, Clover does point to something that she wants from being a spy.
We do get to see Tad in a flight suit.
So the girls are put through training over the next 48 hours. They aren't exactly thriving, but they do learn some super kung fu moves from Jerry. Yeah, do the fruit ninja! Even though that wouldn't be out for another year. But it actually works, because they end up kicking ass when fighting a giant robot. Well, it takes a bit because it goes through phases, and they have to flee with motorcycles. And to give this movie and the cartoon credit, the action can be pretty fun to watch when our three leads get creative with their talents. Like, the premise itself isn't bad. The problem is in the humor and highly questionable writing. After all, these are high school students who otherwise wanted nothing to do with spy work, and yet here they are celebrating after becoming spies. Anyway, now that they're properly trained, they are part of the main mission, which is about the search for the missing Rob Heartthrob, and another celebrity named Peppy Wolfman, whose English voice is from Walker Boone, aka Mario in the animated series Mario 3 and Mario World.
Like I've said before, a peppy pet is a happy pet.
Clover takes the chance to look at potential costumes, including a Sailor Moon reference because of course they had one. The last one she shows are the color-coded jumpsuits that they wear in the show, which they end up getting. Next up are the gadgets.
Compowder, a communication device supercomputer, discreetly concealed in the shape of a makeup compact. The expandable cable bungee belt, a laser lipstick, ever-expanding bubblegum, the suction cup bottom drill heel go-go boots.
Heh, spy gadgets are fun. With all that, they get shot out of the submarine to where Peppy was last seen. They use the compounder to get into disguises, while Alex uses Oinky to make a scene. The girls reach Peppy's office by using perfume that helped them slide through tiny spaces. Insert any Star Trek transporter malfunction joke here, because this is just one dangerous gadget they have. After looking around, Sam gets the idea to hack the security camera to see what happened. They realize that Peppy had pure black hair before coming back with a lock of blonde hair, and a receipt shows how the Fabulizer is tied with this diamond symbol. So Sam, Alex, and Clover get out and notice people flocking toward that same diamond pattern. And when they go to see what's up, they see the Mona Lisa looking lady talking about the Fabulizer. Our heroes also watch several people, including Oinky, go inside several rooms and come out with the same blonde hair streak as Peppy. They report their findings to Jerry, and
What's even more interesting is we're totally beginning to dig the spy life.
So if you ever want to get together over a latte or swap spy stories, I'm so there.
again, earlier you didn't like the idea of being forced into this life. Oh, how things quickly change. As to how they can get by without being in school, not to worry.
Whoop has high-tech holograms standing in for you.
No one will even notice you're missing.
You should have body doubles instead. Thankfully, Jerry is nice enough that he'll transport the girls home and get Oinky back. Sadly, their means of transport isn't exactly covert, as they get spotted by the bad guys.
Then I suggest you take care of it.
Of course the big bad has a cat, but at least the cat doesn't seem to like him. While being tutored, the girls get attacked by the man now in a jet. Alex takes control of the jet to fight back, and it seems like she has a knack for it. You ditz! Once Alex scrambles back, Sam hits the cloaking device to evade the bad guy. Now they can get back to school, but oops, they attracted Mrs. Scritch's attention, so they need to avoid her by... Why? Why?
Why?
They use their lipstick laser to make a hole and escape, but Sam left behind a lock of her hair for Mrs. Scritch to put two and two together. Meanwhile, the enemy pilot, Yuri, reports to his boss about the teenage spies. His boss isn't impressed.
It doesn't matter. After tonight, we will be at full capacity, and Earth will no longer be a concern for us.
Well, at least he's someone I can root against, because he's vain as hell. Our heroes start noticing the same hairdo on every student they see, including Mandy, who is still a major bitch.
You may think you're all that, Mandy, but we're way cooler than you because we're undercover spies.
It's like Clover's a dumb blonde or something. The girls contact Jerry in the cafeteria. They try to figure out how the Fabulizer is tied to their fieldwork, and they decide to investigate Mandy. Also, Scritch confronts Sam over the act of vandalism.
I'll expect to see you in my office first thing tomorrow morning to receive your punishment.
Why not have detention now? School's not done yet. Anyway, nighttime comes and Mandy is getting spied on. Some signal seems to be coming from her beauty mark? I don't know. But anyway, she just wakes up and goes to the beach. And I guess this is a mass hypnosis attack since more people follow along. Sam, Clover, and Alex investigate, and there are also these strange light objects and a massive diamond-shaped ship coming to beam people up as they arrive at this landing strip. Even Oinky got fabulized, and sadly the three leads get sucked up as well. The captives are strapped into pods and the girls need to find a way to blend in. They use their compounders to get clothes, and Clover uses makeup to give them similar hair as the others, or close to it anyway. They try calling Jerry, but when he doesn't respond, they call Tad, who disconnects quickly right as Jerry shows up. Anyway, where is everyone going to now that they're in space? Okay, that kinda raises the stakes a bit, but how the f did nobody notice this? It's a giant freaking diamond with a ring around it. It looks to be big enough to take in multiple crafts full of people from around the world. And what even is this? A luxury resort?
A zero-calorie restaurant. Best of all, everything is connected by luxurious red carpet-lined catwalks. So you can strut in style from location to location with utter panache.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. Okay, let's just meet our main villain proper.
Hello, Fabulites! I am Fabu, your leader and savior!
He's from the top 10 failed models of all time primetime special.
Fabu was ranked #1 on account of his career only lasted 5 minutes. Literally.
You know, I think Totally Spies can sometimes be really, really weird. The show has these kind of villains with strange motives for being evil, and this is no different. But at least the stakes seem a bit higher than the normal baddie of the week, because this guy has managed to kidnap a ton of people to live on his fabulous spaceship. And all because he didn't fit in and wasn't popular enough. Sure, that's enough to be a villain. And if he isn't strange enough, he'll even blow up the Earth after he's done abducting people to become a fabulous ruler. On a side note, the French voice actor for this character is none other than Karl Lagerfeld, who was a famous, and controversial, German fashion designer.
Blow up Earth? Are you completely cracked?
Alex, I recall you being my favorite of the three, but you are dumb. Time to spring into action. First up against the girls is Yuri. Remember when they fought a giant robot and won? Why can't they beat this one guy who's only just super buff? If it weren't for that, maybe this would actually be somewhat tense. The girls get captured, and they learn that Yuri helped Fabu build all this with the Russians, because he taught him how to moonwalk like Michael Jackson. Yeah, sure.
Yuri was kind enough to build me Fabutopia and the Fabulizer.
Fabulizer is more like it. I mean, hello, conformity is so 3 years ago? Yeah, because when everyone looks the same, beauty has no meaning.
An actually good point. Kudos. Anyway, Fabu plans to use his device on the girls to make them ugly before shooting them back into space. And by ugly, He gave Alex spots, turned Sam's skin green, and gave Clover a unibrow. They'll be ejected into the vacuum of space in 5 minutes. And now they complain about becoming spies. There seems to be a bit of hope when Tad shows up. But...
Save you? Until you three came along, I was Jerry's #1 agent. Now you're in my way. So I'm gonna let you get jettisoned and take credit for saving the day.
So why take it out on them? They didn't want to be spies to begin with. Jerry finally notices that something's wrong and that the girls are in danger. And Fabu's way of destroying the Earth is a diamond rocket. Tad challenges Fabu to a fight because he wants all the glory of saving the world, and either this rogue agent just sucks at fighting, or Fabu is more dangerous than I gave him credit for. Either way, Tad gets stuck to the rocket just as the girls show up to kick ass again. It's actually Clover who handles the big bad without any power-ups, and there's still that rocket to take care of.
It's for boring into the Earth's core before it detonates!
How? What? The rocket takes off, and the girls grab on as the rocket goes into space. Good thing the girls have spacesuits as well.
Look! There goes Fabu and another one of his tricked out rides!
Bye-bye, little spies!
Why are you leaving? You're currently winning! Anyway, how are the girls gonna stop the rocket?
Don't worry, guys! I think we can still use it!
Ah, the Patrick Star approach.
We have technology.
Jerry shows up to pick up our heroes with a space jet. Now they can get back to the station to unfabulize and evacuate everyone before the rocket bombs the station. So the day is saved, except that Fabu is still at large. Time to rectify that with the jetpacks.
Sorry, Fabu, but your fabulizing days are like so dunzo.
Jerry congratulates the girls for a job well done and lets them choose between staying in Whoop or leaving it. The girls realize that they only became friends through spy training, so they opt to stay. Plus, they get to meet Tad's replacement.
Bonjour.
Wow. Hi there.
He's from our Paris office.
Well, time for the happy ending. The kidnapped celebrities fawn over our heroes, and when they return to school, they learn that Mrs. Scritch was sent to Siberia and replaced. According to the wiki, her dismissal was due to child abuse. Which tracks. I just want to shake my head at the penguins though, since they don't live in Siberia. All that's left is to torment Mandy, and Clover gets her chance with the promenade grenade. And not long after, they get called away for a mission. But it's okay, because in the words of Sam,
Best friends forever!
well geez, this was a weird movie. Like the show it came from, it's over the top, very contrived, and reliant on the caricatures of the Beverly Hills lifestyle and other cultures. It's almost funny, especially when they try to use the anime art style, but the humor isn't always good because the characters can get insufferable at times. The high points, like the action sequences, aren't enough to elevate this movie above the show. I do appreciate the creation of an origin story, and the mission was pretty high stakes relative to the usual, but it still doesn't feel grander from both, and it can feel like an extended episode itself. Honestly, if it wasn't for Whoop using coercion to get the girls into the spy life, this movie would just be harmless fun. But unless you're really into the show, it's not worth watching. A few funny moments don't make for a good movie alone. Next time, we'll be looking at a Pixar movie. I'll see you then.